People pleasing is ruining your progress, and you will continue to spiral down if you do not focus and put your priority on yourself. We know focus on yourself, prioritize yourself, love yourself. We hear all of these things, right? What does this look like? It doesn't look like people pleasing. It does not look like prioritizing others over you. Nobody in your life should ever be a priority over you unless you have a child. Yeah, you have a child, okay. Yeah, that being is solely responsible on you. Yeah, that's your priority. As an adult, as a teenager, whatever, your priority has to be yourself. I don't give a fuck if you're in a relationship. I don't give a fuck if you're on a team. I don't give a fuck what it is. If you're not there for yourself, you cannot show up as the best version of yourself to other people. You cannot be as impactful as you want. You cannot be the person in your relationship, in any relationship, if you are not taking care of yourself, if you are not prioritizing what you need to improve. So much time goes by and we have things we want to work on. Oh, I want to stop doing this. I want to start doing this. I want to improve this. Time go by, we don't do shit. Why? Because we're either stagnant with our schedule, our routine, we're not willing to change and improve, or we're worried about how we're going to look. We're worried about, yeah, if I do this though, they're going to look at me a certain type of way. And these friends are going to think of me in this way, and they might view me in okay. If the goal is to experience, the goal is to improve, the goal is to become a higher elevated version of yourself, what is going to allow that to happen? You putting your feet, or being where your feet are, and taking that accountability and knowing your situation, knowing your circumstances, understanding, I know I need to improve this. I know I need to work on this. What are you going to decide to do? Continue to appease other people's emotions over your self-growth? Just think about it logically. Yes, you might hurt some people's feelings. No, you actually will, guaranteed. Because when you're authentic and you're being yourself, people are going to take offense to that. But the right crowd, the right people that you deserve and are for you will come towards you. And it'll be natural. It won't be something you have to force. It won't be something you have to walk on eggshells and try to protect somebody's feelings. We don't intentionally hurt people, but some of the things you're going to do and say are going to hurt people. Because their fragile ego, their insecurities, or your courage hurting them because they don't have the courage to either speak honestly, speak up for themselves, or show up for themselves. Some people will see you showing up for yourself every day, consistently, improving yourself, being disciplined, having a good work ethic, and structuring your life to where you're improving, and they will take offense to that. So you think you shouldn't do it because people are going to be offended? Bro, think about all, like, it doesn't even matter what category you think of. Athletics, any type of sport, any type of creative field. That could be making content, that could be making books, that could be making films. Think about all the judgment, the criticism, the lack of emotional security in that, right? But what came from it? Greatness. And you can't improve if you're focused on the emotional security. You can't, I told my mom this, and she loved this, and it's not my quote, but somebody's emotional response or reaction is not your responsibility. And if you read The Courage to Be Disliked, it talks about tasks, like what are your tasks and what are not, and what you shouldn't put your energy towards or focus on because it's not your responsibility. One of those things is the impact you have on people or how they react to certain things. You know, it's important to be considerate, empathetic, all those things are great. But that doesn't take away from taking 2 steps forward for yourself and not being caught by other people saying, oh, so you think you're better than us because you're standing over here now? In a figurative sense or a literal sense. Oh, I'm not going here no more. I'm not doing this no more. Or I'm not doing these things for these people because they're not showing up for me. They're going to take offense. Oh, you used to always do this, or she used to always do this. Now all of a sudden she thinks she's better than us. Or this. Bro, the example, the specific situation, none of that shit matters. Because when you walk on eggshells and you try to people please to maintain relationships, to maintain this, to maintain that, all you're doing is making your life harder moving forward. Your life is going to be worse, and all your relationships are going to be on thin ice because it's not authentic. It's not genuine. It's not built off of nothing. It's not built off of no substance. It's not built off of no integrity, no loyalty, no sacrifice. Bro, when you have certain conversations with people, you can pick their brain and understand where they're coming from, you know what I'm saying, understand their mentality behind things. You start to be able to gauge like the type of person somebody is, and you already kind of understand maybe some of the things they've been through to get to those lessons, or the type of people they've had to been around to learn certain things. So for me, that just looks like when you show up for yourself, people can recognize that and they respect it. But some people that don't have that self-respect, they're gonna resonate it. They're not gonna like it. But when you build relationships off being authentic, being genuine, being blunt, being direct, and that's something I'm working on. You can still be blunt and direct without being like an asshole and not, you know what I'm saying, communicating in certain ways, being more empathetic, of course. But when you are all of these things, your relationships that are built off actual substance, like real conversations, real genuine connection, shit like that, not just off of lust, not just off of looks, not just off of a feeling, because you see all the time people like, they don't really like this person this much or really value them. It's just the feeling they get from being with them or whatever the case may be, right? When you're just, oh, this relationship is built off of this. All of this shit is on thin ice. None of this shit matters. That's why you see some people that be in love every 6 months. Every 6 months they're in a new relationship, love of their life, right? And it's not to make fun of nobody or like say nothing about other people, but it's to show the aspect that you can recognize when people are obsessed with a feeling. You know what I'm saying? They're obsessed with a feeling, not actual substance, not actual connection, genuine connection, right? So when you build relationships off of thin ice and there's no clarity, there's no clear communication, you can't be blunt, you can't speak your mind, you can't be honest, and you can't be authentic in yourself, all you're doing is trapping yourself. Because now you're in a relationship you're not supposed to be in. And you got yourself in that situation. But you can, any situation you get yourself in, you can get out. And sometimes that means either disconnecting from people, that can mean cutting people off, that can mean going to in a new environment that gives you more energy in life and you feel like you can grow in. Everybody's gonna have a different situation. But the option and the action is not to people please. The action is to prioritize yourself. Step back, remove yourself from everything and be able to identify, what am I doing that's helping me progressing into where I'm at or where I want to go, and what is not? What do I have to let go? What do I need to sacrifice? And sometimes that's people, sometimes that's energy going to certain places, sometimes that's this, whatever that may be for you. Do not think that appeasing everybody's gonna get anywhere, because you could do everything perfect. You could do everything how everybody wants you to, and people are still not gonna fuck with you. All the people in the world are not gonna like you, bro. It don't matter. Even your friends and family. Yeah, you might do things a certain way, and you might think you're doing it for them, or they're gonna agree, and they might still not. They still might criticize you. So you're gonna get criticized either way. So you might as well be authentic in yourself. And it's not an overnight process, but you have to be more honest with yourself and recognize, what am I doing that isn't serving me? And that's a video I gotta make. What is no longer serving me? Let go of what is no longer serving me, and show up for myself.